So we have a question, and the person says, Hyacinth, many teachers say how important it is to sit upright, or else the meditation is not going to give any benefits. If someone has pain in the back and wants to lay down, is it wrong? I usually get sleepy. I understand. However, is it mandatory to have your back on the wall, or is it okay to meditate wherever you are and notice the sense of thoughts and emotions? See, that's a kind of problem that comes up when there's this dynamic between the student and the teacher, because the teacher sees himself in the role of authority and the student is simply accepting it. And the role of the teacher is to just teach the ultimate truth, okay, because he knows about it and he wants the student to also become master, so to say. Not that he stays a student for years, but so that he can quickly understand the truth and then just continue his life as an individual which is free, not as a student. And the teacher collects his own truth that are existing besides the ultimate truth, and one of those truths could be that it is important, or as you say, it's mandatory to sit upright with a straight spine. And it's on you, really, because many people will say that they are in a position of authority, and it's on you if you accept it. And if you could see clearly, then you would see that there is no such thing as real authority. Because if there's a guru or a teacher that tells you they have to do this, you have to focus on the breath, you have to open your chakras, you have to open your third eye, you have to have a straight spine, you have to breathe in the hara, you have to do all these things. Then you have to ask why, and you have to inquire for yourself if it even works. Because the truth that you're looking for needs to be your truth. It cannot be handed from a teacher to the student. It's not possible. You have to see it for yourself. And basically, you have to become your own guru. And that I'm going to share my insight about this. If you have to have a straight back, but really, it's on you to really test it for yourself. Because if a teacher tells you do this, then try it for a day and see if it brings any benefits. Don't just trust blindly, because if you trust blindly and you accept the authority, then you belong to somebody and you're not free. You just think you're free. So you can see what happens when you're meditating as you're laying down and what happens when you're meditating as you're sitting with a straight spine. And you can see what it does in yourself, and test if you should do it, if you should continue to do it with a straight spine. I can share my experience. For example, I was able to see when I was laying down and I was meditating, I was watching my thoughts, I was just watching what's going on in me without reacting. I was able to see that the thoughts are like all over the place. But when I was sitting with a straight spine, I wasn't like stretching it so that it's completely straight, but just sitting upright. Then the thoughts are they appear more orderly, so to say. But that's really something that you have to discover for yourself, because when you are meditating with a straight spine, so you sit upward and then you get used to being watchful, then it's also easier to do it as you're laying down. But maybe you're someone who is able to do it right away. And ultimately, meditation isn't something that you do for 10 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day or an hour a day. It's something that you're doing constantly, and you cannot have a straight spine for 16 hours. As you're walking, as you're driving, as you're doing things, as you're working, as you're being in a conversation, there needs to be a constant watchfulness that is absolutely effortless. It's just being present with this individual expression, with this human individual. You have to be present within and without. And you can't do it for 16 hours. So you say you have back pain, and You say, is it okay to meditate wherever you are and notice the senses, thoughts, and emotions? In fact, that's the only true meditation, if you ask me. Of course, that's also something that you have to figure out for yourself, but freedom comes when you are able to read yourself like a book and therefore become free from the book. And reading yourself just when you are in a quiet room is very pleasant, and it's liberating. But true liberation starts when you're able to be in the chaos and still be with yourself and watch yourself, watch your reactions, read the book of you, and therefore get free of this resistance even when you're in chaos. That's where that's when liberation actually shows any benefits. But it's not just about being here with a straight spine and doing it for 20 minutes or an hour. And then, because that's where confusion starts, because as you're doing it, you don't even know why you're doing it. You're just trusting a teacher. You just take his word for granted. You just think that he's probably right. But that's just a truth that exists besides the truth that you actually want. That's his truth. You have to find your own truth, and even the ultimate truth is not something that someone can teach you, can show you, can explain to you so that it makes sense in your mind. It is something that you have to discover for yourself, and then you won't say, I know it because this teacher taught me, but you will say, I found it out. I saw that I am not this I somehow, and then this unexplainable peace was arising in me that just is somehow guiding my life, but I'm not able to explain it. But you won't say that a teacher taught you this. I'm enlightened because my spine is straight. Won't happen like that. But it can help in the beginning, because it could be that when you're sitting upright, that your mind can appear more orderly. All right, so you have to be your own authority. You have to be a light unto yourself, as the Buddha said. Don't turn any teacher into your light.